All right, so I'm back again. We're talking about purpose and how purpose is no matter what your struggle is in life, do what you got to do, and so on and so forth. And it just seems like, sometimes you just don't feel good. You don't feel your best. And it happens a lot. It happens an awful lot. You just don't feel your absolute best. So, only thing I'm going to say there is, because that's hard sometimes. What do you do when you're not for your absolute best and you're working on your purpose? Like, look at this wonderful thing over there. You're working on your purpose and you want to know what your absolute best is that you should be feeling. Sometimes you may feel emotional fatigue, compassion fatigue, and this is because you're exhausted, excuse me, by all these things that you have going on in your life. And usually when I get like that, I usually try to keep my distance from other people. This way I can refrain from just screaming out of nowhere. So I guess it won't necessarily be emotional fatigue. It's more like positive emotional fatigue. You just feel all the negative stuff because, the positive was drained based off a particular situation. So, I mean, sometimes you may feel, well, I'm not going to say you, but, a heat could be felt up here and it travels up here sometimes. So it's like you're just ready to scream, you're frustrated. I don't feel that now. I don't feel that now, and that's a good thing. So, as long as I remember what my purpose should be, and if I just focus on that one thing at a time, I should be all right. And I'm thinking maybe instead of looking at all these other things, why not just focus on the writing in and of itself, So I guess that's just like the issues of life for, people that are just those kind of people, they have that kind of a lifestyle. They're supposed to just stick with that. I'm thinking at this point, that's probably what I'm just going to do and just say, screw anything, just close my mind to anything, to anything else. Because this is what happens when you open your mind to other things. You don't have the time for it. And the time you could be spending on that stuff is actually taking time away from that. Because that's the kind of person that you are. That's what you're designed to do. You're designed to have that kind of a struggle. You're supposed to release like that, which I think is utterly stupid to just have that as the only function, but what can you do? Because when you try to, web out, your energy all over the place, guess what ends up happening? Emotional fatigue, or at least the positive ones, compassion fatigue. And you can't, it's hard to feel properly based off your foot traffic. It's based off that. And, all this travel, the this, that, and all that other stuff. A lot of people don't have the capacity to understand that. They're just not capable of understanding because they've probably never gone through that before. Probably have never gone through that before. Therefore, you're not capable of understanding it. So you only have one side of an equation, which doesn't teach you much. It doesn't teach you enough. It doesn't really teach you anything. People say, "Oh, well, we can understand." You can't. You can't. Unless you've actually been through it, you can't. You can't. Because then, sometimes these people turn around and say, you should still try to do this, and you should. The person can't, and this is how ignorant you are when you say that. They should just try to feel something. They can't. The only thing they can feel is frustrated. It's frustrating. You can't ask somebody to fake something that they can't feel. You can't understand that. You probably have never gone through that before. Therefore, you can't understand it. These are like, no offense. I just call some of these people stupid. You don't, you just don't get it. Very ignorant bunch of people. It's like, where is your internality? Because internally, you're supposed to understand. That's what internal is. You take it under, in yourself, and under, deep in it. You understand it. That's what understand means. And you got all these clowns talking about, oh, we need to overstand something. Yeah, you mean shallow it out. I think what they try to mean is try to look at it from the hilltop somewhere, saying they understand all things. Yeah, but the thing is, you're judging from up there, you don't understand. Because these people that say they overstand, right? Overstand, right? They're judging from above and they're not taking it within and really trying to understand it. They're not trying to actually get it. You don't get it, though. You don't get it. That's the thing. You don't get it. So My best bet would be to avoid people like that. Obviously, to avoid people like that, they just don't get it, and they may like to use verbal punishes against you. That's because they can't understand something. They can't understand something. Those are ignorant people. Okay, they hear you say something like that, and at least I took what I just said to the right people. What was it on Friday? I had this discussion with some people. On Friday, I've had this discussion. I've explained to them what was going on last week, why I was feeling the way I was feeling, and why I almost didn't show up to that place is because of what I was feeling. I just explained it thoroughly. And people can't some people are not capable of understanding. It's because you could tell they're lacking some faculties probably. Some of those people are either missing some faculties or they can't have compassion themselves. They don't care. They just assume that everybody else is supposed to be on their boat. Oh, no one cares about them or anything like that. And we like to push something on you. Oh, nobody's supposed to care about you or anything. Dude, I'm probably newer to this earth than you are, and I'm being treated by you this way. I guess this is why people like us are made the way that we are, because of stuff like that. You're made the way you are is made. How you can be is a making. It's other people. It's other people, dude. It can be other people. So that's all I'm gonna say there. That's all I'm gonna say there regarding that. And yes, that can affect purpose sometimes. You're wasting your time away from, you're wasting your time doing all this other dumb shit that you might be doing in your spare time. Could be, playing too many games. I could say I'm at fault for that. But I did take the time yesterday to get back on the purpose. I did take that time. So it's probably better that I spend much more time away from that stuff and just focus on it. So I guess I should own up to that now because I've wasted time this weekend. And I said I had enough time this weekend to work on that. But because I was so fatigued and so, it's like something, left for a while, it had to be regenerated. And it's not that it's not there. There's a padlock on it until that readiness factor comes back. That's the thing that comes back. You don't feel that urge to do that thing. That's the urge that brings it in. So the only way you can recuperate is what you've known in childhood. Moments of escape require less work. Because recuperation is for what? Work. Because you recuperate in order to do what? To work, to do something, work on something that you enjoy. So since you can't use that work ready, functionality within yourself, you know, you're wasting your time on all this meaningless shit. So that I will say I'm definitely a culprit of is wasting my time on meaningless shit. Shit I know is meaningless in the end. It doesn't serve me, it doesn't do much for me. Okay? It doesn't do a goddamn thing for me. It serves zero purpose. Serves zero purpose whatsoever. So while that stuff may be fun, the stuff I was doing yesterday, those particular things I was participating in, they don't serve me. They don't do anything for me. In terms of making stuff like those things, they serve as a blueprint. Or not as a blueprint, but more like an idea, you know. Not a blueprint that I'm just going to take and, I'm going to use this as a guide step or something. No. Because I would rather do something fresh. That's just me personally. But yes, I've wasted a lot of time on meaningless shit. Too much of it. Way too much. And I ought to tell myself enough is enough. And then, of course, I met this person in my life. He came in my life. He's a newer person in my life. And this person has been talking about marriage. So I'm going to go in here and sit down. This is a newer person in my life. And yeah, he's talking about that. I'm thinking, why would I be thinking about marriage? As young as my interior is, why would I be thinking about that? Because I know I'm a tad bit more immature than what a lot of people think I would be. As a 25-year-old person, I'm still technically a kid on the inside. Why would I be prepared for that? Got this random human talking about stuff like that. I'm still a kid on the inside to an extent. This person wants to do everything for you, but yet he's got somebody threatening his life, some crazy lady. She throws a Hennessy bottle at his head, tries to kill him with a car, wish death on him so much he gets stabbed him. He gets a knife to his abdomen because he tried to save somebody from getting hurt or something like that. Try to stop a situation from happening. I'm thinking, yeah, I would do better without someone like you in my life, honestly. And it doesn't matter how much better your life becomes without me. You said that something's coming for you and that your life could end at any moment. So I don't see a purpose in being around somebody that's pretty much just has death over their head all the time. I don't see a purpose in that. It doesn't serve me any purpose. I don't need anybody like that in my life. I really don't. So, and this person is saying he loves me and this and all that stuff. I'm thinking there's a reason why I don't say it. It's because I don't know you enough. So we may have a lot of stuff that we can agree on in terms of what purpose is and what you should be focusing on, but I'm having my own issues, and it's probably best that this person just didn't get involved with me, just like I shouldn't be getting involved with this person. It's just wise, you know. Plus, I like to hear my own thoughts and watch my own progress as I suffer through it alone. It kind of like makes it so that the issues you made in the past, you would like to hope that you don't make them again. That's why you suffered that stuff on your own. So you feel the grinding of it through yourself. You feel that pain. That's a learning. You can't do that with a second person. You really can't. You can't do that with a second person. All of a sudden, the second person leaves, and let's say you just happen to be not self-conscious or not self-aware. No self-awareness whatsoever. That person walks out. All those mistakes you made before they come back. That's because you use that person as a safety pin. I don't do safety pin relationships. I don't think safety pin relationships work. I'm just not going to do it. That's a safety pin. Not interested in it. So it sounds nice. The person is the dream. The person, dreamt about, saving the world in a sense. And well, no, actually that's my dream. More like he said he wanted to come up with different things and not have any attachments to anything. Just have new ideas and bring it about in the world. And I said, that's cool. Because I've been thinking in the same ways. I had some ideas, inventions, or pretty much innovations that you could bring into the world. And I should go back and re-look at them up here. Just go back and revisit it here because I wasted so much time somewhere else that escaped me for a bit. I have to go back and reformulate that thought all over again. Thoroughly. And try to avoid entertaining myself as much as possible and people say, oh no, sometimes you need that so that you don't feel like you're just working all the time and blah 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 blah. Honestly, the more you try to put work, I mean, honestly, if you change that thought process and try to put more time into working towards something, you'll feel probably 50% more ambitious than you were before. So you could be ambitious and lazy at the same time. And really all ambition is a vision. It's not really just the physical energy you put into something. Okay? Yes, it's time, but it's also that vision. Because in order to have ambition, you got to have a vision. So yes, you got ambitious, lazy people. That's a thing. That's actually a thing. They have a vision. They know what to do. They're just too lazy to do it. They may have anxiety. They know all the steps. They're too lazy to do it. They're just too lazy to do it. That's the thing. Somebody might say, "Oh, there's no such thing as that." Probably because you're not able to get inside somebody's head and understand where they're at. So I know what that's like personally. I've had some success with my ambition. I've had some success with it, and then I have these minor ambitions. This whole going to Jersey thing. That's a minor ambition. So life is divided between major ambitions and minor ambitions. Kind of like how a book has a major villain and a minor villain. And that's pretty much what an ambition is. It's how you attack a major villain versus a minor villain. That's pretty much what that is. So what would be your minor villain in life? Going from point A to point B. Because point A, the only reason why you'll go from point A to point B might be that point A is just not all that good. Point A is not good enough. There's only one reason why you go from point A to point B. Point A is either a learning spot. Point A was fun for a while, but you didn't really get anything from it. And to stay there will be villainous to you, your life. And then it's time for you to go from point A to point B. Point B would be that mode of progress that you just put yourself into, and then you go from point B to C, the next mode of progress. Or should I say next segment of progress. Okay? That's pretty much life. Major purpose, minor purpose. That's what I understand. That's what I understand this thing to be. Yes, I wasted a lot of time. Did I get some things accomplished? Yes. Did I publish 4 books? Yes. That did happen. That did happen. So it's not like I don't have anything to be ambitious about. You gotta, and that's the key sentence right there. Have something to be ambitious about. That vision. Without that vision and without that idea for something, what are you ambitious about? Now and then that would give us the next discussion. Aimless ambition. So let's say you got all this drive, which is only 50% of what the strongest ambition is about. You just say, I'm going to just go anywhere and try to be successful. That may sound ambitious, but it's aimless. And I've been there before. It's very aimless. And in the end, what purpose did it serve? It's like a spider web. It's a lot like a spider web. It's a road to nowhere. Because you'll hop from one thing to the next thing. You realize, oh, this is a piece of shit on board here. That's a piece of shit on board here. That's also a piece of shit on board there too. You know how many jobs I've changed over the years? You know how many jobs I've changed over the years? Can't do cash register. Don't want to deal with people's bad attitudes. Somebody will ask, how come all you do is warehouse jobs? Maybe it's because I would rather work in a warehouse. People are calmer in a warehouse than they typically would be in, typical retail settings. Although I'm working in a retail setting now, but you're working with the freight team. But register, not so much. But then again, since it's in Jersey, it should be better out there anyway. But I probably would avoid doing that. And then here's another thing. The pay is guaranteed to be less. I'll tell you that right now. Because you're standing in one spot, counting cash, and you get bored easily. So the funny thing is, I worked at this one place called Dollar Tree. I may have to, this video might stop and I may have to upload this one and be done with it. So I've only worked there 3 days, right? And it's because I asked what the schedule was. They said to show up to the job to find out schedule. I'm thinking I'm not getting on public transportation, travel 45 minutes to figure out a schedule. And I have to do that every single week. And that's 45 minutes I could have put towards something fruitful. That's a 45 minutes waste of time. That's 45 minutes of time that just got wasted pretty much. And I'm not about to waste 45 minutes to go up there. So I ended up quitting that job. And then somehow I'm getting messages from the manager. She's like, what's going on? So I haven't been checking on. I just ignored the messages. And the reason why you have to go up there to check a schedule is because they don't have an online portal like every other business does. And let's say a lot of warehouses don't either. A lot of other places don't either. The thing is, they text you, tell you what the start time is, or they tell you up front every single day is 8 to 4:30. Like the one job I have now. The other job, it's a set schedule. Both jobs are a set schedule. They're like one right after the other. 8 to 4:30. The other one's 6 to 11. And in the same city, so that helps. That helps. All in the same city. All in the same city. So, that's all. That's pretty much all I can tell you. That's pretty much all I can tell you right about now is that that's one of the biggest reasons why retail sucks is because of shit like that. I think one of the reasons why they don't have an online portal is so that if you have to walk in one day to find out, they could just snatch you onto the clock and make you do some work. That's probably what it is. They don't have enough people working there. They don't have enough people doing anything, and the place is always trashed. That place is always trashed, dude. That place is always trashed. So I don't even know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you when it comes to that. So I was like, eventually it's time for me to leave that place. It's not worth it. It's not worth it working somewhere like that. It really isn't. The people were nice, but and this was sometime earlier in 2019. So like
before this month, right? I would say maybe around February, March of last year. That was when I walked away from that place. Started that month, ended that month. I'm thinking, listen, if it's gonna be like that too many times, it's not worth it going up there. It's not worth it, you know. So also want to say, and on top of that, since it was registered, and then they say, oh, you're a stalker also. It's what, $8? It's $8 an hour, right? I'm thinking that's money you would do that if you were driving and you had time between one shift and another shift, right? Two different jobs, you would do cleaner. And then let's say you don't go to sleep at 11 right away. You'll do maybe 3 hours of cleaning. Okay, sleep a few hours and work your jobs all over again. That is if you can thrive off a few hours sleep. Considering I used to work two jobs to where I would sleep maybe I almost got 20 hours. I mean, not 20 hours, 20 minutes of sleep one night. To go down that road again, it would be the same distance. Like that's pretty much what that's worth. It's cleaning somebody's restroom somewhere for that price. Although people, there's this app called Handyman or something like that, Handy whatever, and you get paid 15 an hour depending on how professional you are. I'm thinking, if you found out all the opportunities, you got rare, crazy shit going on Craigslist, stuff you wouldn't find anywhere else but on Craigslist, right?
And maybe some other sites. You're gonna work a job like that that's paying you next to nothing. And I'm thinking, why do it? And they can't tell you a schedule. Like, come on, dude. They can't. They can't. You call up there to ask for a schedule. They say, oh, you would just have to come down here. That's because they're trying to snag you onto there. I'm not showing up there at all. And then they call me to tell me I had a shift. I'm thinking, well, I don't know that because how am I supposed to know the schedule? Nothing was posted when I left, and you don't have any posted for the following week. That's weird. That's strange. You don't have anything posted for the following week. So let's say I work that Saturday. And it's not till that Sunday that you start to post something from Monday to Saturday. How am I supposed to know that I'm supposed to be there that Saturday or that Friday or that Wednesday? It's weird. How would you know? How would you know? So time to leave. I was starting to hate that anyway. I don't like standing in one spot all day long. I just can't do it. So then, first job I had in Jersey, UPS mail. That was the second UPS I worked at, right? So I worked at UPS, but first I worked at UPS ground. Okay, that was a few years ago, more than a few years ago. And then UPS mail. UPS mail is a bad company to work for several reasons. Well, it's not a bad company. I can't say that it's a bad company. It's not a bad company to work for. I'll take that back. More like now this is pretty much my life's journal about where I've been all these years and pretty much what ambition would look like. You just, trying to find your way around. And I'm thinking at some point I should live in New Jersey and get out of Philadelphia because Jersey has way more opportunities anyway. Um, if you look online, they have way more opportunities. And overall, it's a nicer looking, state, overall. Several cities look really nice. Pittsburgh, from what you've seen in pictures, looks like shit. Philadelphia looks like shit. No offense, and I've lived in Philadelphia most of my life. Litter is the worst city when it comes to litter. The worst. I've heard Camden is pretty bad, but much of it is a lot better in terms of cleanliness than because yeah, I've seen the litter in it, but much of Jersey looks clean, except for when you go to Atlantic City. That beach is filthy. Absolutely filthy, dude. That beach is filthy, dude. I've seen banana peels on that beach. It's hideous. I'm thinking, I get that there are casinos nearby and you might have lost, a bet. There's no need to throw bananas because you lost, but that's probably not why they lost. That's probably not why they lost. I do that as a joke. It's a terrible joke. It's just no need for all that. And it looks terrible. It looks it looks horrendous. That beach with that, and I was there, what, when I was like, what, a preteen or something? You know, probably like 10 years old when I was there, and I bet you it's still littered. Bet you it's still littered. It was years ago. I remember that. Walking past the docks, that shit looked disgusting. It looks horrendous. Why would you want to stand on a beach like that, barefoot, banana peels? It's disgusting. And then you walk on it, somebody's germs and everything. I'm thinking I don't want to get my foot, in somebody's germs. Not saying you'll get athlete's foot like that. All of a sudden you go home, you start scratching. It's like, oh, now I need to get that cream to get whatever this itchy stuff is off me. But anyway, yes, some parts of Jersey are not so great looking, but I'm thinking if you want to lay banana peels around on the floor in your house, why do it outside? But then again, I guess because it's outside. It's outside.